of the African, Caribbean, and Pacific states can, in the Caribbean, in Georgetown, the capital of Guyana, has taken would not have been possible without the support.
The Prime Minister regrets not being with you today, but
by the audience, including our partners, the
group will need each and everyone's support with regards to the vaccine, and like the President has said, we need to be
for your leadership of the heads of state and government summit. You've taken very good note of states. And this inclusion was carefully noted.
and the big. Honorable members of Parliament, His Excellency
The past year has been the most challenging for member states of our organization, as indeed for all countries across the globe. This COVID-19 pandemic has ravaged our health as well as our economic systems. Livelihoods have been destroyed, rendering hundreds of millions across our organization into unemployment and poverty. The services sector in particular, our tourism sector, which many of us depend on, has been crippled with devastating impacts, especially on our coastal and island states. At the same time, the pandemic has created opportunities, and this we are grateful for innovation as well as economic transformation. Some countries amongst us have found new and innovative ways of doing things differently, such as relying on domestic and regional tourism, encouraging ecotourism that is very much in line with our agenda on global climate change, as well as diversifying our product mix. And as I said in our last summit in June, during our intersessional summit of heads of state and government, our solidarity and commitment to intra-Oacps cooperation has been tested by this pandemic. A key lesson is that we need to synergize our energies and use creativity and innovation to recover together and build back better. Given this backdrop, what does our organization, what does our future look like? I believe it needs to be a future of transition, solidarity, and unity, as aptly captured in the theme of this particular meeting. The Oacps of our future needs to operate within new geopolitical realities, growing heterogeneity of the Oacps countries, a changing European Union, and a developing paradigm driven by the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development, which transcends the traditional North-South divide. The ACP, our predecessor of the Oacps, introduced a new type of relationship between developed and developing countries based on solidarity and partnership, and supported the ACP countries to integrate into the global market. It also provided financial support through the European Development Fund, and it made some progress in liberating trade between economies through our economic partnership agreements. The OACPS of the future will first therefore need to build on these gains, while at the same time transition into making the OACPS a much more influential actor in the global economic arena. Friends, with a combined population of 1.1 billion people and a combined gross domestic product of about 3.2 trillion, the transition of the ACP to the OACPS, I believe, presents enormous opportunities for intra-OACPS trade as well as investment, and the achievement of greater shared prosperity for all our people across our nations. We should aim for the transition that supports structural transformation to foster industrialization, diversification of our economies, and an increase in value addition of our primary products. Secondly, the OACPS of the future should also strengthen our solidarity, but most importantly our unity, underlying the establishment of the ACP group, which was our desire to promote unity and solidarity of the ACP states. COVID-19 has clearly demonstrated that none of us is strong unless all of us are strong, and none of us is safe unless all of us are safe. Our recovery critically hinges on our implementing the shared agenda with unity and solidarity. This includes our shared agenda on environmental sustainability, climate change, financing for development, multilateralism, as well as peace and security. Many of our countries are already taking steps to combat climate change and translating the ambitions articulated in the 2030 Agenda into tangible outcomes for our people. We need to create alliances and use forums such as the Investment Climate Reform Facility to continue to support the African, Caribbean, and Pacific countries to improve their investment climate as well as their business climate. Regarding finance, we need to use the various multilateral platforms to mobilize resources for development. And in this context, we welcome debt relief measures which have created the needed fiscal space to reduce the negative effects of the pandemic. However, as clearly articulated by our sister, friend, and partner, Mia Mottley, the Prime Minister of Barbados, we haven't gone far enough. We need to seek a continuation of debt suspension initiative as well as debt cancellation for the most severely affected countries. The prolonged pandemic requires continuous mitigation measures. To our partners in the European Union, we do appreciate truly your contributions especially through initiatives that unlock the potential of digital finance to benefit women, youth, and entrepreneurs across the African, Caribbean, and Pacific countries. And allow me at this point to appreciate our negotiators for financing the agreement between the Oacps and the EU. The initiating of this agreement will take place this month. That is April of 2021. This relationship will further enhance our capacity to cooperate and to address issues of common interest such as health, education, business, as well as climate change.